Welcome back to Blu-ray on a Budget as we cover the Child's Play saga. We return with Child's Play 2. I'm Jerry Hara, and this is Heather, my co-host, and Chucky, our maniacal killer, also known as Charles Lee Ray. Now, it was 1988, the first Child's Play had come out, and guess what? Once it hit home video, it made a lot more money. Everybody got familiar. Chucky had become a horror icon. Child's Play 2 won awards, believe it or not, for best marketing. As you can see, he's cutting the head off of a Jack-in-the-Box, which is terrifying. And it's insane because that image stayed with me. Now, out of all the sequels, Child's Play 2 is my favorite. This is my favorite sequel.
Mine too. I feel like after this, even though I think Curse of Chucky, the sixth one, is great, it goes downhill from there.
Yeah.
For me, The Bride is a little bit good. You know, I can appreciate certain things about it. I can entertain the idea of what they were trying to do, even if I don't enjoy it. But after this one, you know, the first two I consider movies that I would watch again anytime. They are classics to me. After that, I think they just kind of went ham on the sequels.
Yeah, we're gonna get into.
We didn't need them.
Exactly.
They needed them.
They needed them.
Cash in.
Yeah. Now, here's the thing. Child's Play was a slow burn. Child's Play 2, of course, this film is not MGM UA.
Right to the point.
This is Universal. Opened #1 at the box office. People knew who Chucky was, and even again in the marketing, which won awards that year, Chucky was a star. He was front and center. At the 1990 Fangoria Hall of Fame Awards, the Horror Hall of Fame, they had Chucky as a presenter. You can go on YouTube and watch that right now.
That's so scary.
Yeah, he's in a tuxedo and he accepts his award. And they had Kevin Yeager puppeteering him, and then obviously Brad Dourif off camera doing it. Now, this film is a little bit different. The original script of Child's Play 2 had an opening scene with Catherine Hicks, and she's in a courtroom, and she's dealing with the events of the first film. Also, Chris Sarandon, the police officer, was supposed to return in this film, and yeah, Catherine Hicks was going to come back, but at the last minute, she decided not to. At the last minute, also, Chris Sarandon pulled out due to monetary issues. They weren't willing to come to bat with him for the money. They wanted Catherine Hicks to come back for that scene as Karen Barclay, like right in the beginning of Child's Play 2.
I would have liked to have seen it.
I would have liked to have seen it too.
Yeah.
This movie...
You just see her in a photograph and you're like, where is she?
Yeah, exactly.
She's great,
This movie opens right up in the toy factory where they're making the Good Guys dolls. And I think as a kid, I was always interested, obviously in special effects and whatnot. So, and being a little kid, you get to see the opening. We see them taking apart the original Chucky doll, and the people who own the Good Guys company are investigating what went wrong here.
What went wrong with this doll? They take the burned corpse of the Chucky doll and they completely reconstruct it and make him a brand new fresh toy. And
what a bad idea.
What a bad idea, because we thought he was completely dead, but as you'll learn, Chucky never dies. You can't do anything.
Yeah.
I feel as though, if you completely incinerated him with like an atomic bomb, his vapors would just somehow
like some dog would sniff them
again.
And they kind of shit the bed on this one because they break their own rules.
But I like the way that he comes back in this one. Like in the other movies, eventually they just stop explaining how he keeps coming back because they get so ridiculous. And this one, it's like, okay, well, his remains were still there. It makes a little bit of sense, you can work with it.
Well, it's funny because the original script for Child's Play 2 was entirely going to be a Christmas-themed movie. And Universal...
They knew better.
Yeah, Universal was like, I don't know about that. And what they were talking about was having... There's a scene in this movie where Chucky encounters Tommy, who is a good guy doll that's normal. And Jesus Christ, does he bash the crap out of Tommy.
Yeah, he gets really upset. He's like, I'm superior to you,
Yeah, he does not like being a doll. So in this film we have Andy Barclay is, I guess he's in a foster home now.
Yeah.
And he has an older stepsister who is replacing or taking on the adult kind of role.
He's playing mom because the foster parents are too invested with
making money off of children?
Well, I don't know if they're too interested in making money off of children so much as raising them traditionally, and it doesn't work. It's the thing that I like about this movie is it's also about raising children. The first movie is about a single parent. This movie is about
a child being in the foster care system. I mean, nobody wants to adopt Andy.
The way that you treat your child is a big thing in this one, because in the first movie, Catherine Barclay is like completely she's great to her kid. You know, she cares about him enough to panhandle a doll. So
we still don't know if she sucked that dude's dick.
I hope so.
I hope so too, because that's the seedy side of something that left on the cutting room floor. In this movie, though, he's in this foster home, and Chucky is like, he's pretty much out for revenge.
He's so pissed off.
Yeah, we don't. There's no chill in this movie with Chucky.
No.
Like right from Jump Street, Chucky is like, I'm gonna find Andy Barclay. I'm gonna get inside of him.
And he never holds back. Like in the first movie, like he has like a system with picking who he's going to kill. You know, like he doesn't reveal himself to everyone. In this movie, he's just like, bye, you're dead. You know, with everyone he encounters.
It's funny because in the first movie, they did not have the budget for the whole like factory sequence, and a lot of elements that were going to be in this 2+ hour film got shifted over into this second film. So Chucky is front and center in this movie. Again, it's the law of diminishing returns with the monster. Once you show the monster and the mystery, the jig is up. It's kind of like Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, Leatherface. Once you've seen the main horror protagonist, anti-hero, villain,
you have to begin where you left off.
And the cat's out of the bag. Mm-hmm. So you don't really have to hide them in the shadows. I think that if you know the film is going to be successful, you can kind of slowly engage that. But at this point, Chucky had such a big personality. So in this film, he's a foul-mouthed little rapscallion. I mean, he's
terrible.
Oh yeah,
he's so dirty.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because even one of the scenes where he murders the teacher with a ruler.
Oh, that was like
that scene freaks me out. That scene was cut from the original, and that 2+ hour version of Child's Play, all the elements that ended up in Child's Play 2 were all kind of derived from the original gigantic long script for Blood Buddy. A very interesting fun fact about Child's Play 2, at this time, Wes Craven was working with Universal. He had gotten screwed by New Line Cinema over the whole rights thing with Freddy, and didn't come back on board until 3 as writer, and then eventually Robert Shea, they took care of him, and rightfully so. But he was making Shocker, and his whole reason to make Shocker was so that he could make another iconic horror character, and that's what Horace Pinker was supposed to be. What's interesting enough was he would also make People Under the Stairs in 1991, but in between the films, they went to Craven and they said, listen, they're like, we need this to be a big movie, we just paid all the rights for it. So Child's Play 2 was almost directed by Wes Craven. Can you imagine that?
I love what it is, it's just that would have been really cool. Like, I wonder what that would have been like.
I wonder
if we had a time machine and we could like change things.
I don't think he wanted to do a sequel to a movie because it inherently wasn't his creation. And I think at that point, because that's what Shocker was. Shocker was him saying to the film industry, okay, I'm taking charge back of a character that I'm going to own, and we're going to make sequels. Unfortunately, that never happened. That's for another time, another episode. So we're going through this, and everything starts up again. Andy's living with this family. No one believes him. We have this older foster sister who's there. She plays more of, again, the adult character that's missing.
She's also like an anti-hero. She's so mischievous.
Yeah.
She's bad, but she's
bad
good.
girl.
Yeah. she smokes, she uses foul language, she runs, she jumps out of her window at night to go out with guys or whatever she's doing.
So if you're going to combat Chucky, you kind of need somebody who's going to help you, because again, what disturbs people about these films, especially this film, is that, and you can only go back to the well so many times. I think they learned their lesson by the third film. You can only put a child in danger so many times without it just getting really kind of disturbing, where this little kid is the protagonist. And now, again, you know, the kid who plays Andy Barclay, he puts in a better performance in this film.
He really does. I mean, he's older, so...
Yeah.
He knows how to act now, he did a couple classes. I'm assuming, you know...
Little more believable. This film runs at a breakneck speed. Once Chucky is up and running and he's back, the movie goes very fast. The body count in this film is 7. I think 7 people bite the bullet in this film. It really works, but it's the best of the Child's Play films. And, spoilers, it concludes we start out in the warehouse, okay? Which, again, this movie was supposed to be set at Christmas time. And Universal just said, hey, it's too disturbing. It's not going to work. The film ends, of course, with our final showdown with our heroes versus Chucky in the factory. And I thought that was really cool.
I thought it was cool, too. I love the way that they kill him at the end.
Oh, yeah.
That was... I like that it took, like, I think, 3 or 4 times to get the job done. And they kept thinking they could get rid of him, and get rid of him, and then get rid of him again. And it established believability for the way that he was resurrected for this movie. And even though I think that the way that he comes back in other movies becomes completely ridiculous, at least you have that idea fresh in your mind that he can't really die no matter what you do. You know, it makes an excuse for the next ones.
Yeah. What's crazy is like, you buy the Blu-ray, you buy the DVD, and there was actually a deleted ending for this movie. And I'm glad they didn't do it. I'm going to tell you why. You can go on YouTube, look up the deleted version of Child's Play 2's ending. Now, at the ending, it's pretty clear cut that they destroy Chucky. He's destroyed. And then they walk out of the factory at the end, and it's kind of that happy ending, you know, dawn of a new day, the night of terror. Usually when morning comes, it means the passing, that things are okay now. The original ending was that Chucky's head goes sinking down into, I guess, the goop, the plastic these good guys are made out of, and then you see the head get pressed, a new head, and then it smiles maniacally at the camera. I think that would have been cool post-credits if they would have done that as an Easter egg for people.
It's a little too corny.
It is a little too corny, but I think, again, with horror movies, there's always this whole thing that, like, you've got to keep the audience engaged, and it's like the nightmare never ends. You know, I will say one thing: props to the people who played the foster parents in this movie.
Yeah.
They were really creepy. I didn't like them.
I don't know if I would say creepy. They were just like...
I don't know, man.
I would hate to have them as parents.
Yeah.
They were just really fucking weird. But I don't know if I would call them creepy, because they were really trying. They tried to make a perfect little family of 4. They were just like those like relatives that you see at Christmas time, and they like want everything to be picture perfect.
They're like idealistic.
And when they see your family and it's not as perfect, you know, they give you that kind of evil eye. They were those people.
Yeah, they were looking to piecemeal a family together, a perfect family.
And they didn't like that the daughter was a rebel. They didn't like the son Andrew was, to them, completely out of his fucking mind.
Yeah, I mean, this is disturbing material. It's even more disturbing. You know, here's the thing. If you want to bag on the original film, you can say, like, well, this doesn't make sense, and they should have done this, and this is, okay, fine, pick it apart, but then you're going to lose the fun. In this film, if you want to pick it apart again, okay, yeah, there's things that could and couldn't happen, but it's a movie about a killer doll.
Like, yeah, I mean, like, this is one of those things where, like, you just have to accept it for what it is, art for art's sake, like, you know. The thing, I hate it when People say, horror movies are bad because you don't get anything out of them. What did you learn from this movie? I find that a lot of older people, that 50 plus age group, they say, well, you don't learn anything from that. It's just violence. It poisons your mind. I don't see it that way.
No, this is sheerly entertainment, and
it's very entertaining.
I will stand by it. It's my favorite of the sequels.
No, it really
Child's
is.
Play 2 is...
It's up to par with the first one.
It is.
Like I said, after that, all downhill.
It is. It really is, and we're going to get into that, because on the next episode, we'll be speaking about Child's Play 3. I wish they had given it a dopey, surtitle, like Chucky's Revenge.
It was a dopey movie.
Yeah, let's try to control ourselves. So
can you skip Child's Play 3?
No,
I want to tell people to skip it.
You can. I mean, you can tell them to skip it.
Well, I get away with it.
Well, listen. I think that Heather and I have learned one thing: there is a law of diminishing returns with horror films, and Child's Play 2 was the high point for all the sequels. This has been Blu-ray on a Budget, Child's Play the Saga. Join us next time when we talk about Child's Play 3. Ooh.
Blu-ray on a Budget.